All right, for those of you who have been watching the channel for a while, know what this means. The fact that I have this in my hand with this envelope from what should be West Desert, USA. So, I think you followed the saga. And if you have stuck with me through thick and thin of my espresso bean cellar and are sick and tired of the diversion away from reloading, welcome back to Reloading Topics. So I'm going to open this. I'm going to open these. And it's either going to be a short video because things don't fit, or it's going to be a longer multi-parter. All right. So, just like the original packaging, I think maybe a month or so ago, you get the 9/45 pin. I don't remember what the GP and PN. I think the PN is pin, obviously 9mm 45. Can't remember what the GP stood for. I'd have to actually go back and look. And now the 9 and the 45 are labeled with the inside diameter of a Hornady Lock N Load bushing. And I'm going to guess the 817s are actually the more prevalent, because it looks like when I look at the offering when I bought this most recently, I'm going to prolong putting that in there. When I bought that, I went on his eBay listing, and he doesn't list the 825. He only has the 817, where like a week ago he had a note that said make sure you're ordering for the 0.825, or excuse me, make sure your inside diameter of your bushing is 0.825, because that's what he had at the time. So I'm guessing he had a run of 0.825s and maybe sold that out, or is only going to sell that on special request, because I'm thinking that the 0.817s are the ones that are more prevalent. So this is, drum roll please, I'm so nervous. Oh, motherfucker. Oh, okay. We're getting there. Okay, it fits. Ah! Yay. It's a snug fit. Yes, it is. Wow. Okay, so that has 0 tolerance for movement. No movement, which is good. Or at least potentially good, because... No, I take that back. It's not good, because you want the... you want this to pop up a little bit. So I'm either going to maybe clean that out a little bit, because it looks like it should fit. Worst case, I will maybe do a little light sanding. So I will, and that was the 45. Let's see how the 9 fits. Still a little tight. So I am going to clean I'm going to take a wire brush and clean that out, and see if that fits a little better. These worked fine previously, so that's a non-issue. Those go in quite nicely. Let's see how 9 handles. Here's a 9mm round. 9 still doesn't go all the way through, but all you care about essentially is that top lip. So this operates the same way. 9. All right, I'll be right back after I find a wire brush to cut. All right, we had a little redneck engineering going on. I will never, ever, ever use, I don't think, but it's good to have, the 9mm insert. So that goes back in the bag. But I just wanted to give you a little comparison. So I buffed it out and I figured I'd do the top too to make it look nice. Buffed it out. Nothing, no change to the diameter. I wasn't touching down there. And I cleaned the hibby-jibbies out of this die. Wire brush, inside and out. I mean, wasn't so clean. So now I have my insert. And if this, I'll put my hand over this so it doesn't move. But the idea behind this is that if this is slightly off, so if it's right on the money, your timing is right on, this won't move. But if your timing is slightly off, see what happens? That moves up. So you'll be able to adjust the timing ever so incrementally on your pawl. It's the left pawl, I believe it's the left pawl. For when the plate is in the upright position, the ram is all the way up, handle all the way down. So again, as you can see, this free floats. I'm debating whether I put any lubricant in there, maybe a little. Try that right now, maybe just a tad of oil. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not. I'm going to run it dry. And the reason I'm going to run it dry is because I don't want the oil, I don't want it hanging up on the oil. So I think, a good rub down, that probably didn't sound good. A good wiping before the tool would get used. And I think I will mate these, meaning I'll keep this bushing dedicated as I'm continuing to clean the inside. Make sure the grime and gunk of years of storage and hiding in a bin. Again, it looks quite clean. Cleaner compared to what it was. I mean, it looked a little grody, so I probably had a dye in there at one point. But again, very much shinier. And I don't know that I'm actually going to show the tool in action because getting it. All right, I said I wasn't going to do this, but I've been doing a lot of that lately. So we interrupt this video segment to bring you a live version of the West Desert tool in action. And I've discovered a couple things. And when you're checking your timing, the brass that you use to check the actual timing, and I'll demonstrate that right now so you can hopefully see that. So I have a resized piece, but not belled. So this is a belled piece, and this is resized. So hopefully you should see the difference. You can see the lip. No lip. So when you're doing this, and you have the West Desert, I can never do that one-handed. When you have the West Desert sizing die in station number 4, you have to use a piece of brass that has not been belled, because I will show you why in a second. So I believe the instructions said to use another piece of brass in station 1 in sizing. So you should hopefully see, look at that, doesn't even move. Doesn't even move. So my shit is in time. My paws are right on the money. So there was no movement. And I will show you. So that is a piece of non-belled brass. I will bell this piece on my powder measure. This is my non-belled. So you can now see the difference. This is the belled piece, non-belled piece. So I will put the belled piece back and watch what happens, because when it's belled, it's too wide. There's nothing, and this is what the tool is doing what it's supposed to do. And I will take the non-belled, and without moving my plate, and put that in there, and you should see no movement. So, in fact, you can tell it's going in because my My powder drop is making weird noises because it's hitting the bottom of the... I need to tighten some screws here. It's hitting the bottom. So I'm in time here. And that is a wonderful thing. All right, so that's that. And then for the other one, if memory serves, and again, it's been a while since I watched the video, you put that into, actually you put it in station 1, and as it goes over to station 2, so you have it in station 1 with the appropriate primer side down. I'm running large primer, so that would be large primer. So as you watch, when I go over to station number 2, I should see that drop if everything is, whoops, and because I can't resize, I will have to, actually, I take that back. You have to pass that hole, otherwise that pin, it will drop. And now, oh, I did not drop. Large pin. I should probably color code those. And I'm in. And of course my little jiggling probably didn't help anything. So I will do that again to give you all the benefit of the doubt. Did you see the drop? So I'm in, I'm online. Problem is you have to be in the middle, because if you leave the pin in, you see the hole right there, which the other dude's tools that I reviewed, his stuff utilizes that. And where's the large? Large is there. And I dropped right there. So I'm in time for both my left pawl for shell going up, and my right pawl for primer, shell advancing on the primer. And I will show you what I have done. What's the easiest way to do this? I will leave the RAM, I'll leave it all the way down so you can see, and then I will move the camera. Be right back. All right, so hopefully the camera's picking this up. I have a white dot on my press, and I have that white dot lined up with the white dot on my pawl, and I've done the same thing on the left pawl. I have a white dot on the press and a white dot on the pawl. So if they do get out of time, I have a very quick reference point to get them close to being in time again, and now I can use this tool. Oh great, we have a public safety notice telling us that our overlords have locked us down once again. So this little cheat method for me is a way to get back in time for my shell plate, and then from there I can adjust accordingly with these tools. So this works out great. Again, 30 bucks. Holy moly. Worth every penny. Can't say enough about it. Good stuff. The primer is a little different to work with because of the pin that's right under that blank spot where my finger is. Right. Let me see if I can move the tripod. Right there. So that's a bummer for not being able to leave the pin in, because that's your primer spent, or rather your, yeah, that is the primer tube. That is your primer ejection tube port. So you have to have this, you can put it in here, but you can't put the pin in until you're at least halfway there. And then when you go to seat, you'll see whether your primer pin seats or not, and then you can adjust your pawl accordingly. So good stuff. I like it. That's it. Back to your normal program. Previous video where I said I wasn't going to show this. Under the press. Plus my stuff is already in time. So again, if you're not right on, you know, it's gonna push that up. So the only way this is not going up is when the casing is exactly over there. So for the money, this is a win. 20, I think it was like 25 plus shift, so 30 bucks. This is 30 bucks. Had this, even though the dickhead who has the other company didn't think I did. So had this, buy that, and that insert works superbly for me. I will put the 9mm away, and that will go in my bucket of stuff. And this already worked because he didn't need to adjust anything. You have a large and a small primer. Again, for small for 9, large for 45. So you would have this in the large. You would have this insert into the shell plate, and as it rotates over, if that pin doesn't drop into the primer, the empty primer chute, to seat where the primer is, that means your timing's off. So you would continue to adjust your pawl until the shell plate was advanced, and that actually dropped into where the primer would be. So kind of ingenious. You know what? I'm going to polish this while I'm at it. So I'll be right back. Okay, we are ready to put away. And as I was polishing, I realized that is aluminum. That is aluminum. That is not. That is steel. So the pin is a nice heavy steel gauge. That looks to be the 3/16 or smaller. Whatever large and small primer are. So that is now, my hands are a little grubby, that is now polished. And the insert for the primer, whether I'm using, let's see, there's large, whether I'm using large or small primer. And I probably need to clean the gunk out of that hole, which I will do for the primer. And that one, because it's steel, I actually may put a little lubricant on. Yeah, that one I will probably put some lubricant on. All right, we are good to go. This is a winner in my book. Definitely a winner. So between the two, if it's not right on, it is going to raise up. And if it's right on timing, it will not raise it up. That's pretty cool. I think that's rather ingenious, and using least materials and some common sense, albeit other designers may not agree with this particular implementation. My wallet does, and 25 bucks is a whole lot better than 55 for the tool and another 100 plus for everything else to make it work. So 30 bucks, a little polish, and we are in business. So West Desert, USA for Pawl adjustment for your left and right pawl. Little set of tools, and that will go in my tool kit for my lock and load. Good stuff.